What advice do you have for a person that's going to interview somebody that they've never met?
Can I tell you the simplest possible advice that there is?
Sure.
Listen. Listen. It's not about guessing or presuming, or it's about asking open-ended questions and then listening to those answers. I think that's the fundamental, the most important foundation from which to build an interview, is to ask an open-ended question, listen to the answer. Number two is curiosity, to have a real genuine interest in what the person is sharing. I mean, like, I know we joked with RJ before when we started, and I said, "Man, I can't get over the robot-like sibling you got in the background, my man. Like, I'm freaked out." And then I listened and learned that no, Mr. Rinaldi, you need to get hip with the times. It's a generated background, and you're a sucker. So in that sense, he didn't say that, but in that sense, I'm listening to him, right? So if I were to say, for example, to Reed right now, like I'll ask Reed a question, okay? Reed, can you hear me? Okay, Reed, what in the last year, what's a moment where you took a risk? What's one risk you took, Reed, in the last year?
Well, before like everything blew up with like what's going on right now, before everything blew up, so right before on March 14th, we had a trip to Colorado planned, and we decided that we would take a risk and go, and if stuff went south, then we'd hurry and get a flight back, and that was kind of a risk because we didn't know, like, if they didn't shut down the mountain, it would have been perfect and it would have been awesome, but they did, and that was a risk, and unfortunately the wrong choice.
After the mountain was shut down, Reed, what happened next?
We wanted to go with my dad had a friend that lives in Golden, Colorado, and we wanted to go visit them. And then we decided that we weren't gonna go there and take a chance at flight being grounded and then being stuck in the airport the next day and having to rent a car to get back home. So we flew back right after that the next day.
Okay. Hayden, can you hear Mr. Rinaldi?
Yes.
Okay. Hayden, I'm just gonna ask a simple open-ended question to you, okay?
Okay.
All right. In the last year, in whatever way you wish to measure it or share, and this takes courage to do, Hayden, it's not an easy question, okay?
Okay.
What's a mistake you made that you learned from?
I was at a point class for dance and ballet, and I decided to put them on. Like, I didn't use what I was supposed to because I didn't have them, and I almost broke my foot, but I didn't, and I was lucky that I didn't.
I appreciate you sharing that, Hayden. So my point here with Reed and with Hayden, Mr. Rude, is that the question itself ultimately is nothing more than a ramp. It's an on-ramp. The value comes from the answer, from Hayden saying, I didn't have the points, I didn't have the right shoes. I mean, look, I almost really hurt myself as a result, and I learned that if I don't have the proper equipment, I'm going to put myself at risk here in terms of having the right shoes, or in Reed's case, the family dynamic and the decision of we're going to take this risk. Hey, if it all blows up and then the mountain gets closed, etc. What's memorable? It's what Hayden said or what Reed said, not the question. The question should be just an on-ramp.